think like this is Marvin Bagley's, his time is up in Detroit with this trade?
I don't, because that contract's going to be really hard to move.
Yeah.
And it's not saying anything bad about Marvin Bagley. Shout out to his agent for getting him that contract. His agent is goated. But I think Marvin Bagley still has a role on this team, and I think it's going to be on the bench. And that's perfectly okay. But I think once that contract his time will be gone here in Detroit. I don't see any team willing to take on a $12 million contract for a player that will maybe play 40 to 50 games a year. I think that would be really hard to trade unless you're throwing some draft picks attached to that.
So do you? Yeah, I think that's what you're gonna have to do with Marvin Bagley.
Yeah.
He has a team option though for his third year, right, of the contract.
I think I'm not 100% sure. I know it's not like a Troy Weaver contract where there's like a team option. I think it's a full 3 years, if I do remember correctly, but I can look it up on Spot Track right now. But pretty sure it's just a full 3-year contract with him at $36 million.
Okay, because I thought it was like 3 years, or I thought it was 4 years for some reason, and the fourth year was a player team option. I wasn't sure, but yeah, this kind of. I don't even know what to say about Marvin Bagley, dude. Like, I'm kind of off the Marvin Bagley train since they brought in James Wisman. I haven't even seen Wisman play in a Pistons uniform. It's, man, looking back, dude, like he hyped us up pretty big too, averaging 14 and 7 in those 19 games for Detroit. But do you really think there's a role for him on this team where he's going to make like an impact and play significant minutes with all three of these guys? That, I know that the Pistons traded for Marvin Bagley last year, but he was kind of an afterthought of Bol, correct?
Yeah, I mean, after the Bol trade, rescinded because he failed his physical.
Yeah.
I think that was their backup plan. And obviously Troy was very high on Bagley, and he thought that, giving Cade some kind of lob threat would help him out. And I mean, it worked. I mean, he caught lobs. He had a lot of nice lobs with Cade Cunningham last year. I still think there is a role for him, but I think it's going to be on the bench. And that's perfectly okay, because, you need, a backup power forward center, wherever you do want to put him, to get you buckets. And that's what he can do. And I think, you give him 15, 20 minutes, he's golden.
But is he happy with 15, 20 minutes? Like, do you think that Marvin Bagley would accept that after signing that contract? And then, I mean, even when he came in, he was given a lot of opportunity, and I don't want to say the Pistons organization dubbed him like, a cornerstone, but it felt like some Pistons fans, a small minority, were really pushing for Bagley to be like one of the core members. But I mean, do you think he'd be okay with a role like that in Detroit after coming from where he came with Sacramento, where he was barely playing, and just getting stuck in a corner? I just think that's a recipe for disaster with Marvin Bagley.
I think he'll be okay. I think he was happy with his role. I mean, before he did get injured, he was coming off the bench.
Yeah.
And Casey was playing him around that 20 minute mark, and that's kind of his sweet spot. I think you give him 15 to 20 minutes a night off the bench, I think he's happy. I think a big reason why he was so unhappy in Sacramento was because he was in Sacramento, and there was so much pressure of being the number 2 pick and not like living up to those expectations. Like, when you get drafted in the same draft as Luka Doncic and you're not putting up 30-point triple doubles, and you get called a bust by Kings fans, and Kings fans still talk about him to this day. I think that's why he was so unhappy in Sacramento. But I think people in Detroit appreciate him. Now, they appreciate him when he's on the floor. When he's not on the floor and he's injured and he's chained up on the bench, then yeah, Pistons fans kind of look at that contract saying like, man, what an overpay. But when he's healthy, when he's right, like you said, he can get you a good 14 to 7 a night, and I still think he does have a role on this team.